Hey, welcome to the podcast Domination Show, where we help you launch, grow, monetize, and dominate the podcasting space. This is a show where we believe that if you can get attention with your podcast, you can influence someone. And if you can influence someone, you can get them to take massive action. And if you can get someone to do that, you, my friend, can dominate. I'm Luis Diaz, your host and founder of Podcast Domination, and I'm your guide. Let's go. Hey, so I know you're probably wondering, why is Luis interrupting his own podcast? Well, guess what? I have a little secret for you. And I'm not going to whisper this entire commercial, but I just wrote a book called How to Get 100,000 Downloads in 100 Days, and I want to give it to you for free. Now, this book is going to be on sale on Amazon probably for about 20 or 30 bucks. We'll see. But I want to give it to you for free because you are listening to this episode and this podcast, and I appreciate that very, very dearly. So all you have to do to get a free book, a free copy of my book, a physical book if you're in the US, and if you're in the outside of the US, then I will give you a free Audible book version and a free Kindle or ebook version as well. Okay, so here are the steps. Ready? All you have to do is leave a review in the iTunes store for the podcast. If you think it's worthy of 5 stars, I really appreciate it, but I value honest feedback. So leave a review, screenshot it, and tag me on Instagram. My handle is @LuisRyanDiaz, LuisRyanDiaz. Tag me with the book review, and then I'll DM you, or someone from my team will DM you, to ask for your address, and I will send you a copy of my book. Maybe write a little note in there to say thank you, and we'll go from there. So if that sounds good to you, leave a review, and I'll see you on Instagram. Thanks. Now back to the show. What is going on, guys? You wouldn't believe the kind of technical issues I'm having this morning with Zoom and everything else. In case you don't know, I'm starting to use Zoom right now just because it's easier to record both video and audio. So hence the reason for me using Zoom, but I've had all kinds of issues. I don't want to get into it. Today, what I want to do with you guys is share with you one simple question that's going to help you in your interviews, deliver more content, more value, and not get kind of sucked into the esoteric, me too, very, very lazy type of interviewing that I know a lot of people do. And this is not a diss on anyone. Like, I do it too sometimes. So this question really helps me create better content for my audience, while respecting my guest, right? So the question is, if I'm listening to this right now, if I'm a listener on the other side of this podcast, what do I want to hear? What do I want to learn from this guest? That's a huge question, because sometimes we get caught up in their story. We get caught up in their emotion. We get caught up in asking questions that are somewhat selfish, which are totally cool, but I think you got to balance it out. And we kind of get lost in the moment and just kind of want to connect with the guest. We forget that we're recording. Now, you do want to connect with your guest. You probably are like me, a little bit strategic, where you bring people on because you want to go deep with them and you want to develop a relationship. That's huge. I respect that. I think that's important. But I think having this question in the back of your mind is really, really helpful, and it's going to help you just create better content. So the question is, again, if I'm listening to this, and if I'm a listener, what do I want to hear, or what do I want to learn from this guest? So I will ask that question, and then I'll look at that person. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's really big. Like, he's jacked, right? So I'll say, let's just take example, one of my clients, Troy. I'll be like, Troy, how did you go from being 195 to 250? I mean, like, what was the process like? What were the 3 biggest key turning points that helped you grow that much muscle? And then he'll say, boom, boom, boom. So it helps me, for me personally, that question helps me get very tactical. And one thing I'm really big on, guys, is actually sharing tactics and sharing things that people can actually use. Because too many times I see a lot of people on podcasts get really, really esoteric, very fuzzy, very woe is me, or not woe is me, but that's probably a bad word, but very, very untangible. And I hate untangible shit. I'm a really big believer that podcasting is really good when it has entertainment and info. So infotainment. So you're learning stuff and you're enjoying the stories. So this is really more a question to ask on the tactical info side. but it's an important one. So that's it. Remember to ask yourself this when you're maybe interviewing someone, maybe write it down on a piece of paper in front of you. And the question is, again, if I'm listening to this, what do I want to hear or what do I want to learn from this guest? Or maybe from you. Maybe ask yourself that question. Like you guys probably asked me, like, what other questions should I be asking myself before I start a podcast? I'll give you one now that I just asked myself that question. Another question you should ask yourself before starting a podcast or before maybe recording a show is going to be, this jackhammer is like so annoying me. What do I want my fans or my listeners to walk away with after they're done listening to this show? Or what do I want them to do? So what's the action I want them to take after they listen to my show? That helps you start with the end in mind, and then you can reverse engineer the show from there. So question again, because I asked myself the first question that we were on. The first question, I'm getting all messed up here. Sorry, guys. The question you want to ask yourself before recording an episode is, what do I want my audience to take away? What do I want them to do, like the action, after listening to this episode? So there you guys have it. Those are two questions. I was only supposed to do one, but hey, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you guys get a bonus. Enjoy it. Anyways, connect with me on Instagram at Louis Ryan Diaz, or go to the Facebook group Podcast Domination VIP Inner Circle, and I'll catch you there later. Peace. Hey, what's up? Louis again, and I get asked this question a lot, so I wanted to answer it here for you in a unique manner. And that question is, Louis, what exactly do you do? How do you help podcasters? What exactly do you and what does Podcast Domination really help with? Well, instead of me sitting here and telling you all the amazing stuff about us, I thought it'd be fun and interesting for you guys to hear what our clients are saying. So here you go. Please enjoy.
Louis literally makes my life so much easier. All I have to do is record my content. I don't have to worry about editing it. I don't have to worry about writing show notes. I don't have to create any of my graphics to promote it. He literally does everything for me.
We hired Louis to kind of help us set up podcasts, for us to put our content out and kind of grow our brand. And all I really have to say, it's been a huge success. It's been really easy. Louis and his whole team have made the whole process easy, from setting it up originally, which with podcasts is kind of intimidating, and there's a lot of things that if you don't know a lot about the platform, that it's very time consuming. So Louis made all of that easy.
In the beginning, I'm not going to lie, I was completely overwhelmed, confused, stressed out, because I went on YouTube trying to figure out how to set up a successful podcast. And actually going on YouTube, I was just bombarded by so much information that I just wanted to give up on the idea. And then I met a good friend of ours that introduced me to Louis, and we hit it off. And he just said to me, it's really, really simple. I will take care of everything for you. I think what Louis has done for me is made it seem so painless. He has took my idea and saved me money. He saved me time and energy. And more importantly, he's made my Persistence Factor podcast sound professional.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those sound bites as much as I enjoyed putting them together. If you have any questions about how we can help you grow, launch, or further your podcasting efforts, feel free to reach out to me at Louis at Podcast Domination, or you can reach out to my team and ask them some questions. hello@podcastdomination.co. Both are .co. Just make sure keep that in mind. Anyways, I'll see you on the next episode. And until next time, keep dominating.